I want to discuss a conversation I just had with a friend about time and about changing his mentality about time. So I'm actually going to transition to the garage because it's cold out. So I'm talking to a close friend of mine, and he has no money. He has no car. He has a lot of responsibilities, and he's been given this amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He already has a business. It's already making him a little bit of money, good amount of money, but he's in massive debt. He'd have to move to a whole nother place. He'd have to move his family to a whole nother state that's across the country in order to get this opportunity. Now, we already talked about values, goals. His values and his goals align perfectly with this opportunity. He wants to attain the skills. He knows it's going to help him in the long run. He knows it's going to help him run his business, help him with selling, help with his family, help him teach his children. Everything aligns perfectly. But he says, Robert, I just don't think I'll be able to do it. Why? Okay, because I don't think I have the money. I don't think I have the time with everything I have going on right now. And I don't know if my family can handle moving across the country. We're so settled in. We have a location. We have a bed. My kids are going to school. Everything seems to just already be in place right now. And I don't know why, but the first thing I said to him I said, what do you think is the best gift? Because it's close to Christmas time. It's December. It's actually December 19th right now. I said, what do you think is the best gift you could ever give your child in the entire world? If you could give them one gift ever, like one gift, that was it, just one, what would you give them? And he was a little bit smart. He knew where I was going with it. He didn't start naming material objects. He said, college paid for. He started list college, an opportunity, job opportunity. I could give him a company that's profitable, my company that's profitable. He named off some other good ones, millions of dollars, right? And I said, I like where you're going with that. I agreed with him, but I said, here's what I think, in my opinion, is the greatest gift I could ever give my offspring. I believe the greatest thing I could ever give my offspring is a thought. A thought. And I kind of let it have a long pause. Okay, I don't want to do it for the video, but I did a long pause. The greatest thing you could ever give your offspring is a thought. Your entire bloodline has had this one way of thinking, this one way of teaching you, and they were taught by their parents, and their parents taught them, and they learned a certain way of being. If you could transfer to them a thought, a belief, okay, that they could be more, that something is doable because you did it, because you believed it, because they see you embody these character traits, you can change not only your child and what they're capable of in their future more than any material object, more than any college education, more than any business, millions of dollars. You could change their kids' thought pattern. You could change your next 2 generations' thought pattern, the way they process things. Okay? Do you teach your kid, hey, I have my end goal in mind. I move across the country because I know this is going to be beneficial for me to transfer something to you, to transfer a set of skill sets and beliefs that I'm going to do whatever it takes to make me successful, to make your mother successful, to make you successful. Okay? That is what we do. That is what we do. And the way that I'm tying time into this video is saying that obviously you're going to die one day. Memento mori, tempus fugit. I believe it's what it is. If I forgot, someone correct me on it. Tempus fugit, I believe. It means you will die one day. In Latin, tempus fugit means time is precious. I can't even remember. I've just been saying it for so long. I can't even remember. Isn't that funny? But if you're going to die one day, you're running out of time. Okay? Let's say your goal is monetary wealth. Okay, let's just say that's it. So right now you're making how much? And the person says how much they're making. Okay, so you're making that amount. So what you're telling me is that you're losing $1 billion right now. It's like, what are you talking about? I'm not making $1 billion. I'm not making close to that amount. Exactly. You're not. You're missing all the money that you could be making if you had the skill sets to do that. If you had the skill sets that you will learn from this job, from these people you would surround yourself with, from these mentors, from these books that they will introduce you to, from these experiences that you haven't even experienced yet because you don't even know that they exist, from these emotions and beliefs that you don't even know exist, that you don't even know you can believe because you've never known them. Nobody's ever taught these beliefs to you. You're missing out on them being instilled to you so you could begin the process of getting to that level. The longer it takes you to get that skill set, to get those beliefs, to get that mentors, to get that network, the longer it's going to be until you get that. So right now, you're losing about $1 billion each year that you are not making $1 billion. This is something that I heard from Alex Hormozi, not going to steal it. But there's a difference between when you hear something, you internalize it, and then you teach it to someone else, and that's when you really start to understand it, is when you actually are able to articulate to another human being. So I'm telling this person that, hey, look, the time right now that you could be developing these mental beliefs, this discipline, this resilience that you are going to need 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, that you are going to be showing your child. Okay, what will you be teaching your child if you just stay right here and you make the amount of money you're making? If you just have these beliefs, if you stay comfortable, if you just are attached to the school system and their friend group that they're comfortable with, and your wife's friend group that she's comfortable with, and her job, all this stuff, what are you going to be teaching them? Dad doesn't want to get uncomfortable. Dad's not willing to do what it takes. Dad understood what was necessary, okay? He knew the benefits, and he knew it was going to be uncomfortable, not just for him, but for his family, okay? But he didn't have he not only was he not willing to do what it takes, but he didn't have the belief in himself to go out and take it and do it. That was what you'll be teaching him. That's what he will subconsciously pick up on, and that's what he will subconsciously internalize, and he will teach his kid, and you will not be the one to break your generational curse. Your generational curse of non-resilience, not doing whatever it takes, not being disciplined enough, having a thought pattern that is going to keep you in the middle to lower class. And it's just, are you okay with that? And if you are, that's okay. Okay? Me personally, I'm not okay with that. I will do whatever it takes to not let that be my life, or my family's life, or my son's life, or my future wife's life. I know for me, the best gift I can give to my kid, to any human being that would ever watch a video, that would ever learn from me, is a thought pattern. That is it. Just a thought pattern. Isn't that crazy? I could give you $10 million. I can give you, $10 million. I give you $1 billion. I can give you insane amount of monetary wealth. It will not be as much as a perspective, as a thought pattern, as a belief. Imagine you had, if I could just gift you the resilience, we'll use a random example, of David Goggins. Random example, okay? What do you think you could do with that amount of resilience? What do you think you could do? What do you think you could make it through? What do you think would be capable? Okay? Where does that come from? That comes from leaving your circumstances. That comes from proving something to yourself, okay? Because it always comes to proving something to yourself first, which other people then pick up on. I love listening to Ed Mylett talk about being the one. And that's another thing that I really struck home with me. And again, it's hearing it, internalizing it, teaching it. Ed Mylett saying that he's going to be the one to change his family, to change his generation, to change everybody. I will be the one, is what he says. I will be the one to change my family. I will be the one to change things. Now it's up to somebody else to say, hey, you know what, man? Is it going to be one more generation? Is my kid going to maybe be the one? Am I going to just, have my life work at AutoZone, work at 7-Eleven, 12 hours a day, not give him good beliefs, but just know that dad works hard. Dad's comfortable. Dad doesn't have enough belief in his skill set, whatever his deficit may be. Okay, I promise you there are people with much less opportunities, much greater deficits that are making it. That are making their dreams come true. I see people every day come from other countries who can't even speak English, and they learn English, become a business owner, and make millions of dollars and set their kids up for success and get them that proper education, okay? They're not just hustling at a 7-Eleven. They're not just worried about their kids' friend group. They're not just worried about their wife who's holding them back. Holding them back. You have to think, man, time is running out. I don't care if you're 50 years old, 40, 30, 25, 20. I don't care if you're a 16-year-old. If you're 14 years old, if you are 12 years old, time is running out. Doesn't that sound crazy? You're 12 years old and you think time is running out. It is. Ever since the day you were born, you are born to die. You're born to die. Now, I believe one of the greatest meanings of my life is to have kids, is to lead leaders, okay, is to transfer positive beliefs and skill sets and to help other people. I hear other people say similar things, but they are not willing to do what it takes, and they let things get in their way. They have this goal that they don't pay attention to. It's in their head. Oh, I want to help others. It's a very general statement, right? But then the other things take priority. Comfort, right? I want to help other people, but I'm comfortable here, okay? So it sounds like you're more attached to the comfort than you were to this thing that you told me about of helping other people. I believe it was Friedrich Nietzsche that said, "He who has a strong enough why can handle any how." If you have some burning desire and the hairs in the back of your neck are standing up because it is internalized in you, doesn't matter if you're homeless on the street with your son, like The Pursuit of Happiness, the movie with Will Smith. That would be nothing if you had a strong enough goal and you had a strong enough understanding of it and why it meant something to you. Trying to get that little American flag in the background too while I talk about this. I know my purpose, okay? I believe purposes change throughout life. I know my purpose for right now is to internalize who I want to be 10 years from now, what I want people to see from me 10 years from now, internalize it, make that me, make that person that is 10 years from now. That is me right now. That is how I act. That is how I talk. That is how my hand moves. That is fucking everything that I do. And whenever I go back to my old habits, to the old Robert, to act the old way, whenever people try to place me in the old me, okay, I need to have the strength to set them straight in a respectful manner. Don't let anybody, okay, anybody hold you back from achieving your dreams. No matter how ridiculous they are, no matter what type of financial situation it puts you in, no matter how crazy it seems, and if they think you're crazy, good. It means you're close. It means you're on the right path. Because I don't fucking think that working as a bartender, people are not going to think you're crazy because they're going to think it's realistic. But the people that have done anything that is memorable, anything that changes the lives of their children and their wives, somebody hated them, somebody criticized them, somebody thought they were crazy, and it still happened, okay? So, same way I suggested to him, I'd suggest to anybody else, and I gotta take my own advice, is to think time is fickle, okay? We're all gonna die one day. Make the most use of the time you have, and this opportunity that he has will be the best use of his time to develop those experiences, skill sets, beliefs, just all these skills to develop himself and his child and his wife to do things that they probably would never have even thought was possible, that his family and future generations and all his friends in his community and his church would never thought was possible if he didn't take the opportunity in front of him to be uncomfortable, to move outside his comfort zone, and to do this thing, okay? Many people have incorrect thinking. They think I want to just save up money at a job, and once I just save up enough money at this job, then I'll do this thing. Why are you waiting? Why are you waiting? Oh my God. One person that helped change my my mentality, when I was in the military, I remember that I didn't have a lot of money when I was in the military. I had very, very little money. And so, I had about, I think it was 15 days of leave, okay? And that was it. I had 15 days of leave to go home to my family for Christmas. And the military was going to give me a flight, but it was going to be 3 days in my leave. So it was going to end up being 12 days I was going to be able to spend with my family. And he was saying, dude, if this is the only time you're going to spend with your family for the whole year, I would fucking pay that extra money for my own flight, and I would leave and get that whole 15 days in. And I hope what I just said made sense. So I would get 15 days with my family, and I wouldn't see him again for another year. The military was going to pay for the flight, but it was going to be 3 days into the leave. Okay, I'm not going to go into the details of the flight or how I did this, but he said, dude, I would have paid the extra money to go spend with them, because that time is time we never get back, you know? And I thought about it, and it seemed very silly at the time, but thinking back, I would have definitely paid that money. Time is everything, man. It's all about time. So, that's all I really got to say. Just keep that in the back of your mind, okay? Am I making the best use of my time? Is this the best thing that's going to set me up 2, 3, 5, 10 years from now? Okay, where are you going to be 5 years from now doing what you're currently doing? Think about it. Think about it deeply. Internalize it. Write it down. Okay, that's it.